Evening, people. Evening. Not particularly, not thinking this is going to be a long show, but I just thought I'd do a little quick chat show with you guys, you wonderful people that come and support every time. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, Kawaji, big up to Kawaji, man. Hope you're well. Emery's last 25 games at Arsenal, 11 wins, 8 draws, 6 losses. Arteta's last 25 games at Arsenal, 12 wins, 7 draws, 6 losses. Yeah, okay. Yeah, says it all there, doesn't it? Top Gooners will forever change the narrative to protect this fraud. Yeah, well, we know that's going to happen, mate. We all know that one, buddy. Another good comment from Kawaji. Ireland fans booed the team at half-time after an awful first half versus Hungary. Second half, we scored twice to draw 2-2. That is the standards they operate. Yeah, good comment. Well, good comment, man. Big up, Darren. England. Big day on Saturday. I'll be wearing the 80s England kit at the Emirates. Yeah, that's going to be a game and a half. I'm a bit annoyed with myself. I thought the game was in the evening, so I might be well missing that game. So I might have to try and rearrange what I've got planned. That won't go down well though. It's a family thing, so bit of a problem I've done myself there. Darren, kick the Cronkies out. The Emirates making Arsenal English club again, with proper owners, managers, board members, not clowns with agendas to make money. The Cronkies and Arteta out. Big up, David. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're doing well. EIE. Yeah, that's an old one, mate. That's an old one, isn't it? You don't hear that no more. Big up, Gavin, mate. Hope you're well. And Aces is in the house as well. Paris Mandam, big up to you, my friend. Big up to you. Terry Tibbs, Armory Bag Checker. Big up everyone. Jez, have Arsenal always been a terrible selling club? And why is it that Arsenal can never sell players like Chelsea and Liverpool and City? Yeah, it's always been shit, mate. It's historical. We've always undersold, even when we sold players, we've undersold them. I don't know why. I really don't know why, but it seems to have been going on for over 40 years. You know, when we sold John Radford, when we sold players like that, we always sold them way too cheap, in my opinion. And we let players go for silly money. And I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I mean, let's be honest. It wasn't always when we paid big money wages, but we never really got the money back. I don't understand why. Poor management, I think you've got to put it down to, buddy. It really is that bad. Beat up Andrew McCurry, a.k.a. Packer Project. Big up, man. Evening to you, my friend. Evening to you. Yeah. David C says Kawaji, Ireland would have a decent team if all the nationals came back to playing for Ireland. Fact, that's very true, man. Very true. It is one of them things, unfortunately, in modern day football now. It is a shame, really. Saliba out for 4 weeks now for ankle ligaments. Yeah, see that. Paris Mandam says Marino 4 goals galore when it's Spain. Well, be nice if we could do it for Arsenal, then, wouldn't it? Zay, big up, mate. Big up to you. Big up, Jez. Big up to you, my friend. I've got the NFL package, enjoying some matches this weekend. Wow, okay. Big up, Joseph. Connor Golden. Question to Jez. Do you think Arteta has ruined Skelly? Saw England game yesterday. Skelly gave the ball away quite a bit. I think this is where we're going to get into this, right? Is Arteta likes to bring these young lads in, gives them a chance, and then basically reins them back and destroys them, if you want my honest opinion. I don't think this lad gets the freedom he should have at Arsenal. Then that's the way Arteta likes it. He's a control freak. I said this the other day. It's like Arteta treats the players like racehorses. He likes to hold them back like a jockey at the National, right? He doesn't want to give them free rein, and that is a big mistake in my opinion. You know, doing that is going to destroy their careers. And at the end of the day, if I was a young player like Skelly, yeah, and it wasn't going down my road or Enweri, I'll be saying to my agent, whoever, get me out of this club. Get me out. Because you ain't going nowhere with this manager. That is for sure. No chance on earth. No chance on earth. Terry Tibbs, Armory Badger, did Arteta sneak in and change Tuchel's tactics out for his? It looked like Arteta's bald snorefest, a contrast to a smoking Armenia 5-0. Ronaldo and João Felix had great games. Well, hey, who knows? This is what we're dealing with now, man. All love, Mourinho bag for Spain, but he can't bag for Arsenal. Must be a manager issue in coaching. Totally agree. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Anelka was a good sale. Well, he was, but let's be honest, that was a long time ago, man. Long time ago. Lee Ringwood Gooner. Jez, do you believe Odegaard has a future at the club? No, I don't. He ain't good enough. He ain't good enough, mate. Needs a go. Darren says, I saw a headline about garlic heads having scary ideas. He is dangerous and needs to go. I haven't seen that, mate, so I don't know what you're talking about there on that one, my friend, I'm afraid. Mask, big up, mate. Our outgoings have been poor for a very long time. It's historical. And we got the Yeti, man. Why are you a fucking bellend? Because I am. I am a bellend, mate, and I haven't got a problem with it myself. But why are you a wanker? But there you go. We're joking, of course. We're joking. Even all to the mask. Terry's again is saying Mourinho bangs in Spain's system. Their system works. Average players look very good. Well, it's a different setup, mate, isn't it? Different setup. Arteta is the type to build a person up only to let them down. Yeah, that's what he does. Brings the kids in, gives them hope and promise, and then just fucks them off. I mean, it's a bloody disgrace if you ask me. Bloody disgrace. This is not the manager we want. The Arsenal centre, who would you take after Arteta will be sacked at the end of the season? Mate, I've answered this so many fucking times, man. Simeone, Xavi, anyone like that. Mourinho, I'd take him. But rumours are he ain't coming. He's going possibly Nottingham Forest. That's what I've heard. But yeah, if he gets sacked, and I hope he does, it's time to go now. I think the players are fed up with his voice. They're bored, and it's time for a change out. Players, managers stay too long sometimes. Yeah, Andrew. Yeah, Arteta ruins players. He does. Mobbos, Jez, why doesn't Henry Norris deserve a statue before George Graham? I think the problem you got there, mate, Henry Norris, he was a bit of a corrupt fellow, wasn't he? He was a bit naughty, got banned for life from football. For, when we remember what happened when Arsenal got brought back into the first division on election vote, it was naughty dealings. He was one of the owners of the Athletic newspaper. And Henry Norris put out there a poll vote to who should be voted back in. And Arsenal got voted in above Tottenham, when, in all fairness, Tottenham was still in Division 1. They got relegated. Arsenal got put in. Yeah, I can't see him, mate. Be honest, I can't see him getting a statue. And let's be honest, he was only a director of the club. He was never a manager of any great levels. So, he was part of the board. But, can't ever see that happening, mate. And I don't think he deserves it, to be honest. I don't think he deserves it. Mobbo says, people debating the line. what pose Ian Wright's statue should be. Ian Wright don't deserve a statue yet. Sorry, he don't. There's a lot of players I think before him. I can't see it. Great player, great servant, but there's players out there that deserve more before he gets a statue. Sorry, if I was to answer you that question bluntly, I'd say Smudger Smith. All right, I know what you're saying about Ian Wright. He broke the record, Cliff Baston's record, but where's Cliff Baston's statue then? Where's his? Where's Cliff Baston's? Iconic player. You know what I mean? Personally, where Herbert Chapman's statue is, should be also Cliff Baston. And I'm still going to punt this one out there, right? Why the hell hasn't Jules Graham got it? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit that he broke rules. He took bungs fraudulently. That's happened in football for years and years and years. You telling me, Terry Venables, under the management with the owner, Alan Sugar, didn't do dirty nonsense. Come on, man. Right? Alan Sugar, Lord Sugar, I should call him, was a Barra boy, East London boy. Right? He did dirty dealings. We all know that. So you telling me he was no different at Tottenham? Jules Graham worked for Arsenal as let's put the record right. Right? He was a double winner at Arsenal. You know, so for me, he gets it ahead of anybody at the moment. Anybody else that gets a statue before George Graham is a fucking disgrace. Sorry, not good enough. That should never happen, mate. It's not right. For what George Graham achieved in the 9 years he was a manager, no. Don't work with me, mate. Darren says, Nelk was a good sale, but we had football people then doing the deals. Yeah, of course we did. David Dean, you know, Sir Peter Hill Wood, right? That's when we had a proper football club. Mick Redmond, where are you on the North Bank, Jez, when Brian McClare blazed over the bar with a penalty? Smudger got a great goal that day. I probably was, but I don't remember, mate. I don't remember. Be honest, I can't be honest, and I have to say I don't remember. I probably was there if it was when it was at Highbury, but I've been to so many games I can't remember them all. I'll be honest with you, mate. The Yeti's back. How long do you think Rice will put up with this? Yeah, that's an interesting one, Yeti, isn't it? It's an interesting one. Declan Rice, how long will he stay? Well, he's got a 5-year contract, so let's have a look and see, shall we? I think he's going to probably get the ump at some point, but if a new manager comes in, gives them new impetus, I think that'll make a massive difference. I said to you earlier, mate, I think the players are bored listening to Arteta. They're bored with his tactics. They're bored with his gameplay. They're bored with his in-game management. And I think they're very pissed off with the way he treats players. So it's time to get him out the door, to be honest. It's time for a change now. You know what I mean? It's a bad smell at the club, isn't it? And you know when it gets like that, you need to change it out. The Arsenal centre, I believe Eddie Howe will be the perfect fit, even though he didn't prove it at the highest level yet. Yeah, I think we go better than that, though, mate. I think we go better than that. Monty says, "Yo, Jess, hope you're well. Hope you're well, Monty. Hope you're doing good, man. Hit them likes and subs, guys. Yeah, hit the likes and subs up, people. Smash them up. Not far now from 10k. Let's get it over the road. It does help. And go and subscribe to the Yeti as well. Anybody in here that's a YouTuber, go and support them as well. It does help. It does help. Big up James, man. Big up Jez. Keep punching. Big up to you, James. Good to see you, man. No statue for Wrighty, never. Darren. Obviously, Darren's not a fan of Ian Wright. I'm not the greatest fan either myself. Yes, yeah. Graham deserves a statue for sellout Wrighty. Yeah. And but have we noticed there are a few ex-Arsenal now, right, that are starting to turn on. Like they're not. They were very critical after that Liverpool game. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Eddie Cephas, being honest, Jez, were you happy about the appointment of an unknown Arsene Wenger when it happened? I knew nothing about Wenger, mate. Nothing at all. The world was a different time then. There's no social media. When I saw it announced on, I think I read it in the paper actually. And I was like, "Who's this guy? Who is this guy? He's come from Grand Passate." And I think, "What the hell's this?" And then the information came out about his previous history. And I thought, okay. Let's give it a shout. I mean, Bruce Rioch was never going to last at Arsenal. Yeah, not a cat and else chance. But when Wenger come in, I thought, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know anything about him. That was a shrewd one, really, from the board at the time. Big up Sav, man. It was a weird situation. I was like, wow. I remember talking. It was pre-season with other fellas around Highbury and thinking, where's this Arsene Wenger guy? And some people were like, well, apparently he's got a good record, but he's been out in the managing at Grand Passate. And I thought, yeah, but that's Japan, man. It's a different level, isn't it? And it was like, not really convinced. But hey, we all got proved wrong for a nice period of time. Personally, he stayed too long. He should have gone in 2009, if you want my honest opinion. Wenger, he stayed too long. But we know what the club likes to do. The club likes to long it out with managers. We've done it in all the time I've watched Arsenal. All the years I've watched Arsenal, apart from that period when we had interim managers and Bruce Rioch, Pat Rice, all those people that were like caretaker managers. Not Bruce Rioch, he was appointed manager, but we had caretaker people in there, right? Yeah, wasn't good. Until it was almost like, if you think about it, it was almost like Bruce Rioch was going to come in, but they'd already lined up Wenger a year before. David Deans, Peter Hillwood, all that, they'd already lined him up. So poor old Bruce Rioch really had no chance. But you think the couple of players he brought in, namely Dennis Bergkamp, David Platt, England captain at the time. I mean, it was quite something, really. Quite an interesting period of time. Mobbo says, isn't George Graham and Henry Norris in the same boat then, both being corrupt? Well, yes, they are. Yes, they are. But there's always been corruption in football. That's the point I'm trying to make. It was like, I mean, I wasn't alive with the Henry Norris thing. George Graham taking bungs or taking things out of transfers and everything. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all. But it's happened other times in football. Come on, there's always been a little bit of that in football. So my belief is George Graham, for what he achieved in 9 years at Arsenal Football Club, deserves deserves a statue. You know, that's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. But a lot of people object. Arsenal, supposedly being the elite, politically correct club, oppose that. That's bullshit. That's bullshit now. Arsenal aren't the big posh club that they once were. I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about this subject, but people want to go down that road and talk about the big Arsenal being the righteous club. Bollocks. Why do they keep party? They knew what was going on. They knew what was happening. They knew that what was happening there, that he was going to possibly get charged. They still played him. They still supported him. So that's all put to bed then. That don't matter anymore, right? Arsenal aren't the classy club they once were. That's fact. That is fact. The way they treat players, and let's go beyond that, the way they treat the fans now is a fucking joke. It's a disgrace. Absolute bloody disgrace. They don't give a shit about the fans. You know what I mean? Yeah, he says, Eddie sees that you are good at when they start, but when you realise they are crap, they need outing. Facts, mate. Big up KLS, mate. Big up to you. Hope you're well. Shame that badge is upside down. But hey, going to Berlin next week. Gonna get wasted, says Monty. Have a great time. Lovely place, Berlin. Lovely place. Still a lot of the old Berlin still around from back in the day. The Millet 9257, Terry Venables School of Accountancy. Even Brian Clough got caught trying to tap up Bobby Moore at the Churchill Hotel. It's been going on for years and years and years and years and years. Custom Spoons, how did you feel when George Graham went to Spurs? I didn't give a shit, mate. Didn't bother me. He'd done his time at Arsenal. He'd done us great service as a player and as a manager. I really couldn't give a shit, to be honest. I really couldn't give a shit. It didn't bother me at all. He'd gone. He'd left. He moved on. He could have gone to Man United. He could have gone to Chelsea. I really didn't care. Because once you're gone, you're gone. You know, it's time to move on. Mark's question, was you there for the final versus Galatasaray? No, I was not at that one. That's the one in Paris you're talking about. No, I wasn't there for that. I was at Copenhagen against Parma. But no, I wasn't. The Galatasaray one was particularly bad. There was trouble at the Parma game, but no. The interesting one about that Galatasaray one was that a lot of Leeds fans also turned up because in revenge in the semi-final, I think it was the semi-final. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. They stabbed a few Galatasaray fans, stabbed a few Leeds fans, and the Leeds fans went out there. They lost. I think it was a semi-final, and they went out there to get revenge with the Arsenal fans. That's how it was back in the day. You know, you used to get this sort of thing going on, and then and that stupid thing is though, right? Stupid thing is, right? Next season, first game of the season, it might have been Leeds Arsenal, Arsenal Leeds. It wasn't, but you know what I'm saying. You end up having a fucking punch up anyway. The firms were having a kick-off. Yeah, you have the Leeds intercity service crew, right, turning up against the Gooners and the Herd. So even though they're all buddy in Paris against Galatasaray, it's fucking go stupid again at whatever Ellen Road or Highbury. So, oh dear. Darren says, I was in the clock in for that game. We were 2-0 up when they got one back. I left early and will never do that again. Heard the rule out to the ground for the penalty missed by McClare. I don't remember it, mate. Maybe I just don't remember. Did you ever convert to the clock inches? Only on a few for 2 seasons. 2 seasons, maybe. I think I did for 2 seasons. Yeah. Most of the time, as a young kid, I was in the Upper West. Then my first year was North Bank. I think it was there that then I did transgress down to the clock in. A lot of my mates were down there, but after that, it was back up to the North Bank. AFC always question Jez. What was the most difficult goal to score? Omri flick up and volley against Man United, or Dennis Bergkamp's goal away from Newcastle? Whew, crikey, I wouldn't know, mate. I wouldn't know. Bergkamp's flick up and loopy shot over the head of Bartes, was quite special. The Bergkamp goal at St James's was apparently, I don't know about this, it's an argument. Apparently, a lot of people say he fouled the defender. I don't know. I've watched that goal so many times. I don't think there's any foul there. I think it's just pure class. So it's a difficult one for me. Difficult one. I don't know how to answer you on that one. They're both very individual, different goals. But I did love the comment. I remember the comment from Alex Ferguson when he's after that Henry goal. He said, "I hope he never does that again." Yeah, it was both class, man. Big up Jerome, man. Big up Jez. Long time. How did the chant "Same old Arsenal always cheating" come from? That came from basically the days of the latter years of George Graham. The fact that 1-0 to the Arsenal, they shut the game down, and Arsenal used to get a lot of favours, rightly, not cheating, from shutting the game down and getting the decisions. But there you go. AFC always, Jez, thank you for making me a mod once again. Much appreciated. Yeah, pleasure, man. Do you know, I'm trying to make some other people mods here, and I'm having a right bloody nightmare because for some reason, when like Kawaji, I'm trying to. I did the other day. I spent 20 minutes trying to make him a mod, and I type his name in, and it doesn't come up. It comes up with other people with the same name, but not in. So when Mama's back from holidays. When she's back from Egypt, I'll get her on it because she knows. I mean, it's simple to make a mod. It's not a problem, man. It's not a problem. But for some reason, anybody I try at the moment to make a mod, it's just not working. I don't know why. Mems Creamer, big up, Jez. Just been watching Lee. How you been, pal? That England game was boring. Yeah, I had it on. I was doing a show with Rashid. So I didn't. It was there. I didn't. It was up there on the TV up there, but I wasn't really attentive. Personally, if you want my honest opinion, England winning 2-0 against that lot, I think it's a disgrace. I think that's a fucking disgrace, man. You know what I mean? We should be England, the team players that are there. They should be putting 7, 8, 9, 10. Germany do, Holland do. Collective breaks, matey. Jiz, how are you, bud? Hope you're well. Hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're well. Mr. Pad says, salute, Jez. Do you like boxing? You must have liked boxing back in. No, not, not, not in the way you're talking. No, I didn't really, to be honest. I only got involved in any of that when it got too near to me. I never went looking for that shit. You know, wrong place, wrong time. It happened. But no, I'm not a boxer. But at the end of the day, you have to defend yourself, and you have to defend yourself. You know, I didn't enjoy it. I'll be honest. But we never went looking for it. We were affiliated with certain people, which was not always a good move, to be fair. But no, not something that I would really get into. No, I mean, I certainly didn't go and do any boxing training or anything. It was just a matter of defend yourself when you had to. Collective, yeah. Eddie Seafat says, joking here, yeah, joking here. Darren said, Arteta is just fucking about ensuring we don't get trophies like the Cronkies want. I think he'll be gone this year, to be honest. I think he'll be gone. Big up Lawrence, my friend. Hi, Jez, do you think that the September international break should be scrapped? 3 games into a new season and domestic football had to be shut. Yeah, mate, I think it's absolute bullshit. I think it's just bullshit. I really do. Yeah, 3 games down and then you got like this time out. Yeah, to me it just breaks up the whole thing. But it's probably done Arteta a favour. Losing away at Liverpool, now he's shut the whole thing down. He's got a little break. He's got a breather. Time to recuperate. But we'll see what happens against Nottingham Forest. You know, we'll see what happens against them. Mems Creamer, Jez, I don't get overexcited for England games because it's always the same. They qualify and then struggle in the knockout stages, a little bit like Arsenal. Yeah, it's just, mate, it's shit. It is absolute shit. I mean, it's only the fact I was on the stream last night, early doors, 6 o'clock, with Kenny and Rashid, and I had it on. I wasn't really watching it, and the whole show was on whilst that game was on. So I didn't really see it. Was there. It was there in the background. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he says Eddie Cefax. Absolutely. Never know. Never know. Later this week, heads up, Yeti and I will be doing a pre-match chat about the Arsenal Arsenal Forest game. So come and join that one when we set that one up. Give an honest breakdown. Joseph said, Lawrence, where do they play all the other qualifiers though? AFC always Jez Arteta will ruin certain players, certain Arsenal players' World Cup dreams next summer. Of course he will. You know he will. You know that. As yet he says Eddie Cefax. I actually agree with his some Forest fans. Don't know their. No, I no idea what you're talking about there. Mems Cream and Jez, I see Josh Kroenke giving a warning to Arteta. Either wins something this year or fuck off, basically. Yeah, it's there on the table, mate. That's what he said. You got to win trophies now. Big up, Manny. Haven't seen you for ages, man. Even so, Wenger, at least when he joined, had some decent experience under his belt. Unlike Arteta, he proved to be the perfect fit with his methodical approach and was happy to support, and I was happy to support. I'm with you on that one, Manny. I'm with you on that one, my friend. Hey, Manny, what's happened to Del Boy? Is he not streaming anymore or something? I haven't seen him do a show for ages and forever. Mick Redmond, thanks, Jez. We remember stuff like that in Ireland because it was a rare treat to see English football live on a Saturday at 3 p.m. I remember Niall Quinn scoring against Liverpool. Niall Quinn, mate, he was a good player, wasn't he? He was a good player. Yeah, Niall Quinn didn't stay enough long enough at Arsenal. Mems Creamer Jez, how would you feel if a German won the World Cup for England, aka Tuchel? Not bothered, mate. Mems, not bothered. If Tuchel was to win the World Cup, yeah, why not? I don't care. I really don't care. That's the modern world of football now, isn't it? You know, it always was, wasn't it? That you'd have a manager, your manager, international manager for your country would be English or German, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Brazilian. That's all. The world's changed now, isn't it? The world's changed now. So I don't care, man. I don't care. Some mothers do have them. Great show that. Question: even Jez, Geordie Armstrong, did you watch him play? The old man said he was a great. Yeah, George Armstrong, great player, absolute beast, man. Yeah, I saw him playing in '68. My first game at Highbury, Leicester City at home. We won 3-0. And for a couple of seasons after that, yeah, great player, man, great player. We had some great players back in that 70, 71, 69, 70, 71 teams. We had some great players. But as is Arsenal, we started to let them go. And that's when we went down the pan again. And by 1974, Arsenal were in deep shit. Deep shit. Under Bertie Mee, you know, good manager, very good manager. But it wasn't resilient enough. You know, we just let the players go. Mr. Pads is that Yeti, what is the general consensus of Forest fans as it pertains to the Nuno situation? Are most happy to let him go, or are they mad at Mariakis? Well, Yeti, there's a question for you there. Gavin long up, big up, bro. George took a corner off the parcel, as all managers did. It was an unwritten commission. You talk about George Graham there. Pat Rice is a proper Arsenal legend. He used to walk around the corner to get me haircut at his brother Alf's barber's. Fair play to you, my friend. Yeah, he says, Mr. Pads, if it goes, it's retarded and step backwards. Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, weren't we, mate? AFC always just my starting 11 for Forest: Raya, Timber, Calafiori, Gabriel, Mosquera, Rice, Supermendi, Eze, Enweri, Mariuke Grokeres, or Yokeres, or whatever his bloody name. Yeah, yeah, I think that's a good starting lineup, mate. Yeah, I'll go with that. Not a bad shout, mate. Not a bad shout. Yeah. Jez, did you know that George Graham's nickname was? Yeah, Stroller. Stroller. That was his name. When he came in from Chelsea, bought him for, what was it, 60 grand, 80 grand? I can't remember now. He was up front, but Bertie Mee decided that he wasn't quick enough up front, so he stuck him in midfield. And he became a great player there. He became a very, very good player there. So, Darren says Redknapp was known as Harry the Thief. Yeah, he wasn't no innocent, was he? Yeah, he wasn't no innocent. Same as Jez, George did so much for us, and how he was treated. Who could blame him going to Spurs? I mean, the thing is with George Graham, right? When he in his garden, he had a patio, and he had the Arsenal, that badge right behind me, right? Was a mosaic in his patio. That's his love for Arsenal. When he went to Spurs, he had it taken out, had it dug up, which I think was a great shame, personally. But that's life, isn't it? I suppose that's the life. There's a great book to be written about Brian Clough at Forest versus Robert Maxwell at Derby. Lee Chapman's book is an eye-opener into the corruption there. Yeah, well, it's been around for a long time, mate. That's been around for a long time. Mem's Crib, money. That was for Jezbro. Why answer it? No, come on. Everybody can answer anything, mate. Anything you can answer. Lawrence says, how many happy returns to Peter Story for turning 80? Big up to Peter Story. How I wish we had a prime Peter Story in our squad today. Another good player. Another very good player. Very, very good player. Jez, the Galatasaray fans stabbed 2 Leeds fans to death. Yep, that's true. Very serious situation. Hence why Leeds fans can't stand that lot till this day. Yeah, that's why they turned up with the Arsenal fans in Paris to get their own back. You know what I mean? It was, yeah. I wasn't there. I'm glad I wasn't there because there was a lot of trouble that night. A lot of bad things went on. Fighting on the subway, the whatever you called it in Paris, the underground. There was a lot of problems there. I'm glad I wasn't there. It always used to be a thing, right? 70s, 80s, 90s, you know, very, very, very few people brought weapons to games. Okay, I mean, there was, yes, of course, the infamous West Ham one at Highbury. That young guy got stabbed by the West Ham fan on the Arsenal tube. But very rarely did you get any of that. Yeah, you get bottles thrown, you get bricks and shit thrown, but most of the time it was fists and boots. But when knives started coming in, that was a different whole thing. But it was very, very rare that happened. Very rare. It was, yeah. I mean, it was that all started really over in Europe with certain fan groups, but yeah, it was a sort of unwritten law, really. You didn't bring in knives and things like that. Some people, there were some fans, of course, there was the County Road Everton crew that liked the old Stanleys, double-bladed Stanleys. They used to glue the blades together. That was a naughty thing. That was naughty. Emerson Crozier says, yeah, you are right about the Leeds fans as revenge of the Leeds fans that got stabbed. Yes, it was the semi-final, as you said. Yeah, it was. That was a bad story there. Bad story. Big up Jamboy, man. Just the worst match I watched was the United versus Galatasaray in '93. Yeah, I mean there's some bad shit going on, man, in games. Yeah, there's doing an ER. Big up, mate. Jez, remember that guy that looked like Simon Jordan that called out Dan Potts? Was he in the herd? No, not that I know of. Now, are we talking about this fellow on AFTV? Is that what we're talking about? The tall, lanky shit? Are we talking about him? Right. If I may have got this wrong. He was what was called a hangabout. If you're talking about him, I may have got this completely wrong. He was what's called a hangabout. He wanted to be part of it, but he was not really welcome because he was too what's the word I'm looking for here? He would have been too obviously recognised by the police. Because don't forget, this is when the police started bringing CCTV and all that, and people wanted to be under the radar. They didn't want to be seen. Now you got to remember that people weren't walking around then with masks and all that shit on. So yeah, it was a different thing then. So you didn't want people that were going to be easily recognised. Of course, the big names, would be because they were known and police knew exactly who you were. But yeah. Gamoto, watching the tennis, but tuned in to say, Jez, you are a legend. Mate, what are you doing watching tennis? God, dear, come on, you've got better things to do, ain't you? Surely? I'm joking. Just you're a legend, Chelsea fan, but you're just a great football man. Yeah, look, mate, I can relate to stories, and you know, I'm not the most knowledgeable of fans about football. Ken's the man for that one. I bow down to his greatness or his knowledge. You know, general football. I know a lot about Arsenal, but Ken, mate, oh my days, what he don't know about football. Hoo, hoo, hoo. I'd never, ever go and mastermind, right, with against Ken about general football knowledge. I wouldn't have a clue. The man's a legend. Man's a legend. And I'll tell you what, he's probably one of the nicest men to be on a channel with. He's respectful, polite, gives credit to other people. I love streaming with Kenny. Absolutely love it. He's an absolute real one. Lawrence says, going back to last week's game at Anfield, people say we dominated that game. How can you dominate a game and give away and give only one goal? Oh, you talk about one shot on target in 90 minutes. Yeah, well, they dominated position. Arsenal dominated the first half in possession. I'll get that, but we didn't respond and actually do anything with it. That's the fact. That is the fact. You know what I mean? Mems Cream, the first time I saw Bergkamp's goal versus Newcastle, I couldn't believe it. I'd never seen that goal ever since. No, you probably never will ever again, my friend. I would say what comes close to that, right, is on pure quality is I've got his bloody name now. French player, Arsenal, scorpion kick. That was outrageous. Was it against Chelsea? Can't think of his name. His name's gone. Can't think of it. Yeah, I mean that was an outrageous goal. Absolute class doing that. What is Rich Guitar Gamer? Nice SG you got there, my friend. Nice honey colour. What is going to take for you to change your mind about Arteta? Winning the Champions League or the Premier League, my friend. Nothing else. Nothing else. He has to win, mate. Has to win. Yeti, Robert Maxwell threatened to buy FC. I don't know who they are. Just to stop Chapman moving to Forest. Offered Lee Ash a job on BSB to secure his signature. Okay. Kenny Dalglish used to put his arm across the solar plexus of the defender. A loud move for strikers. Bergkamp's goal was fine versus Geordie. Yeah, I don't see a foul in it, Darren. I've watched that goal, so I was at the game, right? I to this day can't see a foul in it. I've never seen a problem with it. G-Man, big up Jez, big up to you, my friend. Thank you for watching. Smash the lights up, people, whoever's in the house, and smash the subs. We're on our way to 10k. Be nice to get there by Christmas. Views has no issue modding people. I don't know what I'm having a problem here. I'm trying to get some people, other people in. And it just, every time I tap their name in, it'll come up with names, but I know they're not the people I want to mod. You know, it's fucking frustrating. It really is. It's very annoying. Big up, Jez. How are you, sir? The Net Buster 4000. Big up, Jez. How are you, sir? Have you watched UFC recently? No, I don't watch it, mate. I don't watch it, my friend. Some others do have them. Jez, I have never known a fan base like this now trying to put Arteta in the bracket of Graham and Wenger. It's shocking beyond belief he's going to go and take his cult with him. Let's hope he does, mate. Let's hope he does. Yes, it's modern people are easy, but finding people who deserve it is the hardest part. Yeah. I know a few I want to mod, but when I type the names in, you go into settings, into community moderation. I type the names in, it's not coming up with the people I want to put in as a mod. You know, I mean, I did it for you. I mean, I made you a mod and I found you easy, but it's that's not working. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Do you like horse racing, Jez? No, not mate, not really, not really, not really. I have been horse racing twice, I think. Yeah, twice in my life on basically corporate days. But no, Jez was like Mickey off Rocky. Oh, God. No, before my time, mate. John Charles was the 50s, I'm afraid. Bit before my time, buddy. Great player for Wales and Cardiff City and Liverpool. Did he play for Liverpool? My granddad used to watch him. He used to tell me about him, but no, a bit before my time, my friend. Thing is, Jez, you can't avoid it. Got chatting some herd on the way up north one game, and if wanted to get involved would have but need to stay clean due to the job. You do hear the EIE cry now, do you? Do you? Okay. I mean, they are about. I meet up with them every Christmas. You know, I told you the story, didn't I? Not last Christmas, Christmas before. We met up at London Bridge and went down to Borough Market for a Christmas piss up and eat and meal and all that. And that was quite interesting because there was a load of the old Millwall there walking around. They're also out for a catch up, piss up, whatever you want to do it. And some of their old school recognised some other people, and it's like America around, right? Wherever we went to a bar, pub, whatever, they'd go, and then we'd move out to another pub, and then they'd be there, and it was like a merry-go-round. It was quite funny actually. As the day went on, as the more alcohol was going down, it was starting to get a little bit more intense, I think is the right word. And it got to the point where some of the old sayings were coming out, EIE and all that, and they started singing the old Millwall, everywhere we go, we're hated, we don't fucking care. And it is all getting a little bit out there. And I don't know if you know Borough Market, anybody, but there was police about, and they started to get a little bit of awareness of what was happening. Never got involved because nothing ever happened, but it was all getting a little bit fractious, and I think they were pissed off that basically we'd come down to their sort of manner. It's not really Bermondsey, London Bridge, but it ain't far away. I don't think they really liked it, and I get that, but we weren't expecting anything to be around on that day, and nothing happened. It was all mouth, you know. You could see what they were doing. They were had a lot of young uns there with them, and they were sending them in to try and layer it up a little bit, but it didn't happen. Nothing happened, and it was. You could see the police were starting to keep a little bit of a eye on us. It's all a bit of fun, really. It's a bit like how it look. I mean, look, back in the day, it wasn't always punch ups. There was always the banter. Didn't always start and in trouble. It was always the story of the fact that the opposing firm would be around, and the Arsenal firm would be around, and there'd be slanging going off and abuse and everything, but it didn't always go south and be a big punch up. And it was daunting, and it was a bit unnerving at times. Away games, especially, certain locations were not great, to be honest. Tottenham was always a naughty one. Birmingham with the Zulus. That was always a bad one. Always bad. Stoke was naughty. Never really had a lot of grief at Anfield. Never had trouble at Newcastle. Yeah, so it was always a bit different. Manny says, you asked me this question on a previous stream, Jess. I think Del is just busy with his family and enjoying life. I tried to reach out to him, but he hasn't responded. He's happy though. Oh, good. Okay, mate. Okay. Long as he's cool. Long as he's all right. Ace says, knowing for Arteta, he'd probably start Mikel Merino after tonight's hat-trick against Forest. Well, okay. Yeah, well, if he don't start Eze, mate, I'll be very fucking pissed off. Darren says we should have an English manager. Really too short. An English manager really too short is good enough. Is he? I think you mean is he not good enough? Manny says Darren Sullivan, Johnny Metgod was also played for Spurs. If I'm correct, hope you're well, sir. Been a long time. Yeah, Manny, I have to get on the show again, man. It's been forever, isn't it? God, it's got to be 18 months or so. Got to be that. It's long time ago. I'll get hold of you, Manny, and drag you over. I'm going to defend Tuchel and say that it's all about doing the bare minimum of qualifying for the tournament and finding out which players he wants. He's leaving after the World Cup, which is unfair. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Okay, I get it. Manny, long time no see. Will you ever stream? Well, I think Manny's just explained that. At the moment, Del Boy's doing other stuff, and big up to Manny. Big up to Manny and Del Boy. He should have been offered a better deal, but the FA made it clear that he was just a stopgap and wouldn't be given the confidence that Ericsson, Lord rest his soul, and Capella got. Ah, okay. Jess says, how good was David Price? I remember him scoring quite a few goals. David Price, yeah, he was all right. He wasn't great though, was he? Let's be fair. He was a bit of a bit part player, wasn't he? He was a lanky sod. He was all right, but not never going to be the big part of it, man. Carlos Eduardo, hopefully soon, if that happens, you will know. Is Lee Guna a bacon? No, fuck off, man. Who would get into your all-time Arsenal 11? Now, you have to go back and look at Shane Guna's channel, man. Go and have a look at that. I went through that one in great depth. Great depth. There's too much to explain on this show tonight. You know what I mean? That one that Shane Guna does about the Arsenal. He did Kyle's the other night, which was quite interesting, to be fair. You know what I mean? Do you think David Speedy would have at Arsenal, Jez? I don't know. I don't know if he'd have been part of the gameplay, really. I don't know that. Big up Abjeet. Good day, Jez. Hope you're well. I'm very well, mate. Hope you are. Good to see you, my friend. And we got a prick in the house. Somebody ban this guy. Well, I'll fucking do it. I'll just do it. Ban him. Fuck off. Bye-bye. See you later. Bye-bye. Darren Sullivan. I remember that Wrongham Steve Perrybin doing David Price at White Hart Lane once. Yeah, no. Steve Perriman, man. He was a dirty little shit, he was. He was a dirty little shit. Good player, though. I can't deny that. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Manny, sorry, man. Understand. Sorry, buddy. Sorry. Lost my plot here now. LG, do you think Arteta is the best looking manager in the league? I really couldn't give a shit what he looks like. I really didn't give a shit, man. He could he could be the most ugly bastard in the world, and I really wouldn't give a shit. Ahmed says, who do who do you see getting sacked from the Premier League? Jez? I'm going for Potter and Thomas Frank. I don't think Thomas Frank will. No, I'm not seeing that, mate. I'm not seeing that. Nah, not seeing that. Yeah, Monty, I'll try and add you in, man. Try and add you in. Jambos says I've already blocked him. Yeah, you get the clowns, mate. You get the clowns. I have to say, Jez, and doing shows solo, you have come on leaps and bounds. Big love, bro. Thank you, mate. Thank you, the Yeti. Some others do have them. Big up, Jez, with the knowledge. Thank you, mate. Bobby Brennan, stop begging for attention. Yeah, he's gone, mate. I've blocked him out. Was I at Anfield 89? Yeah, I was there, mate. I've showed my program on streams. I've still got my program. They're in a cupboard over there. Fucking hundreds of them. I've shown my program over there with my ticket. Yeah. So yeah, done that one. Yeah, he's gone, mate. He's gone. I blocked him out. Got rid of him. Couldn't be deal with him. Idiots. Do you remember Alex Cropley? I do, my friend. I do indeed. Yeah, I see he's had a haircut, Kawaji. Yeah. There's been no more snot guard. That's gone. No more snot guard. Top Gooners are saying that Odegaard's haircuts mean he will cook this season with goals and assists. Really? So it's a sort of Samson thing, is it? In reverse, you cut his hair and he gets better. Okay. Agamotto, yeah, Clenny's class, but Jez, loved your takes. You see it well and appreciate your content, mate. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much indeed. Who's got his dog shit? He's not great, is he? Yes, Giroud. Well done. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Giroud with the scorpion kick. That was class, wasn't it? Yeah, that was class. That was absolutely brilliant. Men's Creamer, Jez, what's your thoughts on Arsenal's Champions League group? There's a few teams that Arsenal have struggled against. Do you see your team going the distance with these players you've brought in? That's a great question. Yeah, well, we know what happens with Bayern Munich, don't we? We know all about that. Bruges could be a banana skin. Atleti could be another one. You know, there's some tricky old games in there. Tricky old games. If this manager doesn't set it up right, mate, we're fucked. We're done. We are done. And I think that's the problem here. Lawrence says Odegaard's loss of form is similar to what happened to Arsene. Yeah, he was another one, wasn't he? Great promise, never quite got it over the line. Showed it in a few games, but never really did it. Also, Suarez goal versus Newcastle, shoulder control and taking it past the keeper and scoring in the same movement. Great comment, Shamsal, beg your pardon. The Minute says, what about Frank Worthington's goal for Bolton against Ipswich? Don't know, mate. Don't know. 01 Zicino. Big up, man. Big up to you. Hope you're well. Keep up the hard work. 10k coming soon. Yeah, it's like pulling teeth, mate. You know what I mean? It's like you think you get in there and then it stops and it goes up and it goes down and it goes up. It's just mad. Mem's Creamer says, hey, just hopefully no more Arsenal players get injured during this international break. It's already piling up. Like Mount Everest, you don't need more before the Forest match. Thoughts on that game? Yeah, that's going to be a tricky game, mate. Look, you can't never write off Forest. I was having this chat early on the Yeti's channel, right? Yeah, Forest are a very good counter-attacking team. Yeah. If Arteta sets up again with too many defensive players, we're in the shit. We've got to rule that midfield. That's the thing. We have to be very strong in that midfield. That's why I've said I'd go 4-4-2. Strengthen it up. Bring in the players that we need in that midfield. Shut them down. Shut them down. You know what I mean? Nottingham Forest, a tricky team to play. Tricky team. And, you know, it's a midday kickoff. We know what Arsenal like at midday kickoffs. We're not great, you know. We tend to get out of bed very late. FR Leak says, my badges. John Charles play for Juventus, Roma and Leeds. Mate, I wouldn't know. But, yeah, apparently he was a great player for Wales. That's all. He played in the 58 World Cup against the great Brazil team that won it. Pelé was his first appearance. So there we go. Stephen, S4 Baberstock 95 Baberstock. Big up, Jez. Hope you're well. And it's a coincidence that the Arsenal players are doing better on international duty. Just shows that Arteta is holding them back. There you go, mate. There you go. Well said. Well done. But yeah, he's gone, mate. I've binned him out. You know what I mean? You get these idiots. Unfortunately. North London forever stinks, mate. Yeah, how the hell that's an anthem when it's all about prostitutes and drugs. Jesus Christ. What is this club doing? It's big up Topside Highbury, man. The treatment next generation. Yeah, I mean it's mad, man. It's a big up Hendo. Yeah, see, this is another guy. I've been trying to make him a mod. Right, I type his name in exactly as on there, copy and paste it. I can't find him. What the fuck is going on here? Somebody tell me what I'm doing wrong, all right? Because I've never had a problem before. The fact Arsenal fans sing it shows that pussies you have in the fan base. Yeah, I totally agree with you here, mate. Maybe we should start singing Mother Kintyre. What do you reckon, Yeti? What do you reckon? Nick your song? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is a joke now. Marino gets a hat trick for Spain tonight. Well, he's playing with a good bunch of players, isn't he? Hendo says, have to say that Mikel Marino did score a couple of cracking goals. I didn't see it, mate. I can't comment. RSPB, of course, Coman going to start Cone Man. His ego can't handle Eze being good when he wasn't his own choice. Yeah, good point. Good point. Yeah. Ahmed says, Jez, do you see getting sacked from the Premier League? I'm guessing Potter and Thomas Frank. No, I don't think so. Potter, no, I don't think so. No, I don't think so, mate. Thomas Frank, they have a new person coming in soon. Who cares where the manager is from if you win the World Cup? I like Marino. He's a bad boy. Big up Nelson. Jez, why do you want to send a hit on me, mate? I haven't. Mate, I have not. That is the reason why. Because you act like a complete and utter prick when you call me lad. Right? Don't call me lad. I'm older than you. Yeah? Show some respect. Because otherwise you'll be binned off again. You know what I'm saying? Jez Moz Sports World is Sasuke Guna. He's a wanker who's threatening Guna Matter family. And he called me a nonce on True Guna channel, aka Josh. Well, you know what I'll be saying to him, mate. FR Leeds, what were the Cardiff firm like, Jez? My dad says they were proper naughty. You talk about the Soul Crew. Yeah, they were proper bad, man. 2005 FA Cup final, Arsenal Chelsea. Now, what they did was Chelsea went down there and paired up with the Arsenal firm. But what happened was they went and took a home pub in the high street in Cardiff of the Soul Crew, and it went badly. Big windows were smashed in. I mean, I'm talking big fucking windows. Big windows were getting smashed in. And then round it all off, right? You had the Swansea Jacks turn up to support the Soul Crew. Two arch enemies in Wales, right? The Jacks and the Soul Crew came and joined up to fight against the Headhunters and the Gooners. It was all around. Up now, I don't know if you know where the Millennium Stadium is. Up the road, you've got it's right near Cardiff Castle. Right near Cardiff Castle, and there was portable, like beer wagon, beer bars and all that, and your normal burger bars and vans and all that, and it was absolutely carnage. It was it was an amazing day. I didn't get involved. I was lucky. I never had a problem, but yeah, it was going on all over the place, all through Cartmel, fucking hell, all the way from the train station, all the way to the Millennium Stadium. It was madness. Anthony says, "Question, Jez, is Yeti a prick?" Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's a fucking idiot. He is, man. He is an absolute clown. Yeah, guys. Another mute in the chat. Fuck me, they're like cockroaches today. Andy Herbert, don't insult Yeti bro, respectfully. Oh dear. What phase is Alcaraz in, Jez? I have no idea. Anyway, members cream and love insults, bro, but thank you. Thank you very much. Zay says, Jez, you agree Mirren is basically another Havertz. Gets goals here and there, but offers little to nothing else. Yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah. Mems Yeti, my mate, is okay. Yeah. Duncan Smith, big up, Jez. Do you think Everton can push for European football? I think Moyes has a decent squad. I think it's going to be a while, mate. I think they're going to have to settle down and adjust to their new stadium. And hopefully they can. I mean, let's be honest. Everton in the 80s were a proper tricky team to play. Under Howard Webb and that lot, mate, they were a very good team. Very good team. Andy Herbert is like you ordered Pete Hayward on Temu. Yeah, I haven't seen old Pete under that name for quite some time, to be honest. 390 subs away from 10k. Keep subscribing to Jez the Legend. Thank you, mate. Thank you, Kwaji. Jez, what do you think of reaching 10k? Well, if it happens, mate, it happens. I'm not going to hold my breath because it takes time. It takes a lot of time. Yeah, he says, get this man at 10k or I'm releasing the whole cave to your house. Oh, don't do that. 3 hour players from the Arteta prison, says Topside Highbury. Yeah, fair play, man. Fair play. Lawrence says, Jez, spare a thought for me as I will have to get up at 4 a.m. next Saturday morning to watch the Forest game live out here in the States on NBC. I wouldn't bother, mate. I wouldn't bother, buddy. I wouldn't bother with that. I wouldn't bother, man. I'd stay in bed. I always sing We Run the League at Shite Hart Lane during the Jez, how are you, fella? We still doing that bet? You bailed out, mate. You bailed out. You said you wouldn't deposit the money. You know what I'm saying? Don't come in here and try and call me out, mate. I offered you the bet, and you said, "Oh, no." You know those people. They're all honest people. We could have deposited that bet. You bailed it out. So, nah. Once you walk away, mate, if you don't touch hands, then fuck off. Get out. Wales versus England is always naughty. Yeah, that can always be a rough day out. Fucking get Arteta out, says Darren. Anduit, roughest Arsenal match you've ever seen. I remember Man United versus Arsenal, 90 Old Trafford, war literally broke out, how the game changed. At Highbury, the worst game I've ever been to personally was the FA Cup 94, 93, 94. Millwall at Highbury beat us 2-3-0. Can't remember. 3-0 was it? That was one of the worst days of violence I've ever seen at Highbury. Away would be December the 23rd, 1978, when Arsenal won 5-0 up down the lane, and I copped it right there with half a brick, knocked out 3 teeth, split my face right open. Yeah, that was not a great Christmas for me, I can tell you. Hendon Gooniges is Arsenal. Any news on how Gracie May is progressing? Apparently she's torn her calf again. Bless her. She's now moved out of home. She's now living with her partner, boyfriend. She's doing okay. She's got a job as a teacher, but apparently the last time I spoke to her, she's torn her bloody calf again. I think that's now going to be, you know what I mean? It's going to be a lifelong injury there. You know, that I think, unfortunately, as I said to Grace, that's your football career over. Great shame. Great, lovely lady. Yeah. Anyway, Jez, when you get a chime, watch your league. Melbourne derby. Our fans went crazy that day. It was a few years ago. Chuck flares and cement bucket at the goalkeeper. He got it in the head. Oh, fuck me, that's a bit on the off, innit? Oh dear, come on. That's a bit over the top, isn't it? Men's crew with Jez of the neutral. Ain't you not worried that Jokeres, whatever his name is, struggles versus the big team? So far, I know this season still fresh, but that service needs to be fed to him to get the best out of him. Yeah, that's the problem, mate. He's not getting the service, is he? That is the bloody problem. You know, if you don't get service, then you ain't going to score goals. I don't want a player like him having to come back deep in midfield, get the ball to try and get and score a goal. Not happening. You know, not happening. Hendo says, Lawrence Emmanuel, don't bother waking up to see the Arsenal Forest game, record it and watch it later on. That's what I'd do. I might miss it myself. I've promised to do something. I thought it was in the evening and it's a midday kickoff, so I may well miss the game, so I will record it. It'll be on Sky, so I will record it and I will turn everything off so I don't know the score. So when I get home, I can watch it in peace. Annoyingly, as I said to the Yeti earlier, you know, Yeti does a watch along for that, so I'll have watched the game and watched his watch along. So I'm a bit pissed off myself on this one. Only credit I'll give Arteta is that he makes a good defence coach. Terrible manager, though. We need some to free up the attack majorly. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Jez, do you remember that infamous night when we lost a bunch of Belgian? Oh my God, Winterslag. Yeah, I was at that game, mate. I was at that fucking game, and they amalgamated with Bruges, didn't they? In the end, big up NW10 to NW2. Big up, Jez. Big up, man. Didn't they, Lawrence? Didn't they amalgamate with Bruges in the end? Do you remember that? Big up, Wurzel Herpert. Bristol Rovers are currently in top form, Anthony. It's very pleased. Would you rather come, Harry says, would you rather come second again and Arteta stay, or get relegated and get him sacked? Get him out, mate, all day long. We're never going to get relegated. That's stupid. That's never going to happen. But I want, if he don't win something big this season, Harry, right? If he don't win the Prem or the Champions League, he's got to go. His time is done. His time is done. You know what I'm saying? Topside Highbury, they put Millwall in the front part of the West Stand in the FA Cup game in Sun. Yeah, it's mad, wasn't it? They went riotous everywhere. Everywhere. Fucking hell, man. That was, but half time in the North Bank. The police had about 50, 55, 60 of them penned up in the top corner, and they walked him out, back down towards the clock in where the other lot were, and they were going all over the place. They were kicking the shit out of anyone. Don't matter who you were, they were kicking the shit out of you. I was in the North Bank from 0-2 Mill at home when Jaws was in decline. Every Mill fan was a meathead coming out the station. Yeah, that was a tough day out, that one. It's one of the worst violence days I've ever seen at Highbury. Yeah, Portsmouth, the old 647 crew, or what they call themselves now, 657. They were a tough lot. I got caught on the train once coming home from a game. Oh, when was this now? Probably 2003, 4. I was coming home from no later than that, 2007 or 8. Coming home from the Emirates, and on a train, Victoria coming back, and the game had been between Palace at home and Pompey, and it was like, hello, I thought this lot, oh yeah, it's this I know this lot, they come on, and it's, I don't know about you boys, it's very unwelcoming situation when you're on your own. I was just sat in the train, wasn't packed, and this lot pulled up. There's about, I don't know, 12, 15 of them, and when you get a bloke sit next to you, like I'm by the window, right, I'm here, and there's a seat there, this guy sits next to you, and you get two blokes sat opposite you, and then two blokes over there, two blokes there, and then the different seats, yeah. And I'm just looking out the window, just do my thing. And then, like, this, the eyes are on you. You know it's like, you can feel it on the back of your head. And it's this fella over here, diagonally to my right, he goes, "You all right, mate?" I went, yeah, all right, yeah. He went, "What game you been to?" And I said, "Game?" And I'm trying to be an idiot and ignore it. And he goes, "What game you been to?" I said, "I ain't, mate. I ain't been to a game." And he said, you're not a football fan?" And I went, "Nah, not really, mate. I'm not really big into sport, to be honest." Now, Mr. Stupid here, right? Yeah. It's always a thing, the crap. When you come out the grounds, if you're travelling away on your own, you take your scarf off and wrap it round your waist, right? So I've done that, as is always part of the agenda. And after the game, I'd had a couple of beers with a couple of mateys, and got on the train, got back down to Victoria on the way home. And of course, the train from Victoria is the train down to Pompey. So I'm sitting there, and like, these guys are looking at me and they're going, "You ain't been to a game then?" I went, No. And this fucking bloke, tattoos everywhere, big old lump, he goes, "You're Arsenal, weren't you?" And I went, "Eh?" And he went, "You're Arsenal." And I went, "How do you know that?" I thought, I'm fucking cool now. I'm cool. And he goes, "I can tell. I can see your scarf." And I looked down, right? And it's dropped down, and you can see the red and white tassels at the bottom. And on the bottom of it had Arsenal. I'm thinking, oh, fuck me. I'm done out here. And this guy went, "How'd you get on today?" I said, "Oh, we won 2-0. And he went, "Yeah, fair play, fella." He said, "We ain't got no problem with Arsenal." I mean, I think what he was alluding to, back in the 40s, right, Arsenal Pompey had a big communication thing. They were quite linked. My granddad used to talk to me about it, so it was fucking, like, I was lucky on that one. I was on my own. There's 12, 15 of these guys, and I'm like trying to deny anything I know, nothing to do with football, nothing, don't know anything about it. And my scarf has dropped down below the bottom of my jacket and it's sitting there red and white with tassels and it says, Arsenal. What a mug was I? What a mug was I? Anyway, there you go. 01 Zeno says, Jez, do you think Egal actually wants Arsenal to do well? I think he does, but in such a deluded way. I really do. I really do. I think he does want Arsenal to win. Of course he does, but he does it in a way that is a bit unusual. I mean, as a person, he's a nice enough fella. As an Arsenal fan, he's a complete prick. But he's just so deluded. He'll deflect anything that it's just pathetic, to be honest. Jez, who's more deluded, D or Egal, when it comes to Arsenal? They're both about the same, mate. Same. Christian's not quite as bad. he is another one that will deflect it, but he's not as bad. He's a little more balanced. Lawrence says, do you remember when the singing copper Alex Morgan fried the pre-match entertainment at Highbury as well as the Met Police band doing the half? Yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Always used to get them, didn't we? Don't you see them at the games now, do you? You don't see the old bands, military bands and all that anymore. Great shame, actually. Great fucking shame. Not that I'm into it, but it was a bit of entertainment. Mohammed says, big up, Jez. Do you think that Tom Canton is more deluded than Egal, Christian and D? They're about all the same, mate. Tom Canton, to be polite, mate, I swear down. How nobody smacked him in the face. I swear down. I swear down. How nobody's done him up. Really, honestly. Yeah, had some times where it was oh fuck moments. Yeah. That's how it happened, wasn't it? That's how it happened, you know. There was times when you walk into things, you think, oh shit, here we go. And they were all right, actually, that Pompey lot. 657. The 657 crew, innit? Always remember that. Because I remember speaking to somebody once, said, why the fuck are they called the 657 screw? And it's apparently that's the first train from Pompey to London Victoria in the midweek, for work, gets into London at 6:57. 3 minutes to 7, apparently. And that's why it's called that. Yeah. You all learn these different little things, people. Different little things in life. Yeah, he says, had 5 Liverpool fans circled me and my bro, and one said, why? Start again. My bro, and one said, say you support Liverpool or you are dead. I sang Forest Till I Die, loud as I could, and they all gave us respect. There you go. Canton, Simeon, Julian, Robbie, Egal, all fake fans. Yeah, how the fuck they hadn't been done over, mate. It'll happen one day. Somebody will weigh them in. There will come a point where they will get weighed in and they'll be eating out their arse because that's where their teeth will be. Mohammed says, Jez, have you met? Yeah, I've met Ty. Yeah, Ty's, look, he's a little fella. He's all right. Actually, he's just got absolutely nothing else but Arsenal. That's all he's got in his life, mate, and I respect him. You know, I know he talks bollocks, but he's actually a nice fella. He's about 4'11", but he's a nice little guy, and I ain't got a problem with him. You know, yeah, I've spoken to him on many times. Football Factories is a good film. Yeah, not quite really though, is it? Jez, did you ever bump heads with the ICF? Unfortunately, yes. Won't lie. Yes. In my younger years, when I was a bit stupid, and I did get involved with nonsensical violence. I'll put it that way. Yeah, did. Yeah. The first time actually was with the F Troop. That was Millwall, the old name before they changed their name to the Bushwhackers, the F Troop. Also at Blue Boar services on the M1 with Port Vale fans. They were a bit of an arse weight. From Zulu fans, Birmingham. Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't good. I was young and stupid then. Young and stupid. Too old for that shit now. Too old for that shit. Yes, mate, did actually. Anfield, 89, when we went on the pitch. Yeah. That was a pitch invasion. Yeah. Yeah, that was right there. Anfield, 89. Sometime that because you've got to remember that's when the fences came back down. After Hillsborough, all the fences came down. And yeah, we did actually invade the pitch. Yeah, remember that very well. Tripped over a hoarding at the ground. I remember that very well. Face planted myself. But yeah, he says sometimes show you don't give a fuck is the best way forward. You are twitching like fuck, but you just don't back down. Yeah, I agree with you. Aspire, Pocket, X, Vape are the best. Yeah, that's what I've got, mate. I think that's what it is. I think you're right. Well spotted. Yeah, it is. Well spotted, man. Gosh, you've got some good eyes. Jeez. Respect you, Dan. 1983. Darren said, wow, nice. Yeah. That's many years ago, mate. Many years ago. Mohammed says, Jez, would you swap Arsenal Invincible with Man City's treble where they won the league FA Cup? No, mate. Sorry. Because I don't think there'll be any other team in the Prem that will do an Invincible in my lifetime. There's only been 2 teams in history who've ever done it, isn't there? Yeah, Preston North End back in God knows when. Arsenal. It's a very special thing to go invincible in 1 year. Many teams have attempted it. Liverpool, Man City, Man United, Chelsea. Even Chelsea give it a go. But they have never achieved it, so no. It's a very special thing to achieve that. So, yeah, I'd take it all day long. Prediction for Arsenal Forest. I'm going to go on that one. I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal on that one. Dan says, I use them myself. Okay, mate. Okay, big up to you. Yeah, he says, tough game at the Emirates, but I want this so bad. Of course you do. I think it's going to be a 2-1. Yeah, what are you predicting, mate? Darren says, was you at the game when Charlie scored versus Villa and all away fans did it? You talk about Charlie George or Charlie Nicholas? I don't know who. Don't know what you mean, mate. Forest did it, didn't they? 42 games unbeaten. Nah, not in one season, mate. There's only 2 teams that ever got unbeaten in one season. That's Preston North End and Arsenal. Topside Highbury, never forgot that Ken Bates put electric fences up at Stamford Bridge. Fans were treated like animals by the old Bill as well. But yeah, the fans were herded. Yeah, God's sake. Yeah, it was not a good time to sometimes be having especially away games. Jesus. Yeah, got bad treatment. Bad treatment. Yeah. Yeah, he says, mega happy to even be playing Arsenal at the Emirates. It's a dream to be in the Prem. Who do you like more, Jez? Lee, Gunner or Northside? Mate, both. They're both decent people. You know, but to me, look, I've never met Northside, never met Lee, and they're both decent fellas to me. I've got no grief for them. Yeah, they've got no beef with me, and so They're just online friends, to be fair. You know, we all respect each other. You know what I'm saying? So I respect anybody that respects me. Yeti Arsenal beat us the unbeaten record. Did we? I didn't know that. I thought Forest had a unbeaten run under Clough. Yeah, they did. But the fact what we're talking about is to go invincible. You've got to go from game one in the league to game 40, 38, 42, whatever, without losing a game. That's going invincible. So yeah, would you invite Lee Judge as your show, regardless of him flip flopping? I ain't got a problem with him. You know what I mean? He's all right. He's all right. He does come out with some bollocks, but he's a nice fella. There's a lot of YouTubers out there that are really nice people, but sometimes they do it for the wrong reasons. Let's put it that way. They do it for the wrong reasons. You know, it's to get the big gig. That's what these people want. Yet he says we did have a 42 game unbeaten run. Jez Mems is right. Yeah, but you didn't do the whole season, did you? That didn't get you the Invincibles, my friend. That's my point. Be up, Kyle. Saw your show the other night with Shane when you picked your top 11. Great show, that, man. Great show. Very similar players that we picked compared with my team. Carl says, be up, just hope you and the family are all good. I must arrange to jump on with you soon. It's been too long, Jizza. Yes, mate, you must. I have contacted you once or twice and you never fucking reply. Next week, not this week, next week, Kyle, is a Arsenal quiz show with the King Kenny Ken. So I'll be throwing you out a message for that. So make sure you check your bloody Instagram every day. You know what I mean? Come on. Dan 1983. Yes, you did, bro. Khan says, hi, how old are you? Me? I'm 64, mate. 64. Topside Hybrid. Would you have gone invincible in 91 if the red... yeah, well, there you go, see? There you go. Yeah, there you go. I think possibly. Yeah, I think possibly they would have done. George Graham's team, yeah, I think they would have done. But we never know. Tony Adams was serving his time at Her Majesty's pleasure, which was a great shame, of course. Yeah, we did. We beat you to the Invincibles, yeah. We did. Big up, Adam. Hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're well. Mohammed says, if I'm not mistaken, Jez, I think Egal said something that Gyökeres wants to join Arsenal as he loves to wear football boots with Nike to Adidas. Oh, my God, is that right? I mean, no football fans have ever said it before. I mean, mate, he comes out with such shit, man. Seriously, it just falls out of his gob. It really does. It's unreal. Dan, 1983, Liverpool. Big up, man. Arsenal 91 would have won in Europe. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Alan Sunderland, great player, Adam. Great player. Privileged to see him play. Scary. Well, that's scoring that winning goal. 79. We all know it. You know what I mean? There we go. There we go. Mems Creamer, no, Forest had 42 games unbeaten, then Arsenal overtook that tonight, 49 games unbeaten. Your unending run included cup games. No, you're missing the point, mate. Right? Look, the reason Arsenal got the Invincibles gold trophy was because they were unbeaten in the Premier League in all games played. It was nothing to do with cup games. It was all to do with league games in the Premier League. You know, that's what that was about. That's why they got the gold trophy from the Premier League, because they went totally unbeaten in the Premier League, like Preston North End did in Division 1 in 1875 or whatever the fuck it was. You know? Yeah, check your Insta every day, Carl, because I'll be sending that link out to you and to Darren and Anthony and some others to see if you can take that crown, mate. Take that crown. Jez, I'll check the Insta every day, mate. I'm looking forward to that. I'm never on Instagram, but I will check it every day. Love sharing the screen with the real legends. Big up to you, my friend. Great show you did the other night of your Arsenal all time. That Invincible teams could have beaten anyone. Phenomenal. Yeah, there was something special, mate. Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, Ernest Arteta. Thank you for that. Yeah. Dot says, I hate troll fans who just say things to get views and money. Be up to you, Jez. Always authentic, mate. Thank you, my buddy. Thank you. Mems Creamer, but didn't United stop that invincible run? Yes, but no. They did stop the invincible run yes, they did. But the Invincibles was the fact they went unbeaten in the Premier League. That's what the Invincibles is. That's why they got the gold Premier League trophy, the little one, right? That's what it's all about. Jez, as everyone knows, Roadcast was my hero. I was just wondering what he was like to watch live from the North. Mate, Rocky, what a player, man. What a flipping player he was. Yeah, gone and taken from us way too soon. What a player. What a player. Mohammed says, how can Jessica name her YouTube channel as she knows Arsenal when she doesn't know Arsenal history like George Graham Moore? Nah, look, mate, these people are just clout chasers, right? She knows fuck all. I've been on. She's banned me on her channel because I've called her out on so many things. Most of her fans are absolute arse-white Arsenal fans anyway. You know what I'm saying? Idiots. Absolute idiots. Idiots. 88-89 for Preston North End. Was it? I thought it was before that. You're pretty right. Thank you. Carl Walsh, Darren, my friend. Big up, boys. Carl Walsh, gonna big up, bro. I'm gonna be bouncing out of here in a minute, people. Yeah, Yeti the legend, man. Yeah, you go and support the Yeti. Go and support the Yeti. Great channel, Yeti. Talks a load of bollocks, but he's a good guy. He's all right. She's a clown with her yappy dog. Yeah, mate. What is that all about? Cut the fucking dog's throat, mate. Fucking pain in the ass. Love to you, mate. Give me a shout on Insta. I will. I'll be contacting you. It'll be won't be this week. It'll be next week. We have to pick a date when Kenny's around and see if we can all fall in together. Get Anthony there, and I'll try and drag a couple of people. It's all Arsenal, mate. It's all Arsenal questions. It's all Arsenal. Try and make it fair. Because if I do other football, we know who's going to win it. It's Kenny Ken every time because his knowledge is unreal. Unless I cheat. But hey, yeah, where we go. There we go. My old Plopside Hybrid, my old school classmate, lived next door to Rocky. She said he was distraught and in tears the day he was told. Oh my God. Really? How awful. Big up Carl Walsh, the ledge. The volcano. Big up Philip McGee. Big up, man. Hope you're well. Darren says the title she knows Arsenal is enough to make you avoid it. Yeah. Absolutely. Hasn't got a clue. Hasn't got a fucking clue. Mems Creamer. Sorry, Jez, you was correct. I thought Invincible run included cup matches, not just the league. No, that's fine, mate. Don't worry about that. Don't forget I challenged Kenny Ken to a quiz. Did you? Okay, well, if you want to come on, mate, you're more than welcome. Anybody is welcome. Right? It doesn't matter what club you support, who you are. You're more than welcome. No, I'm going in a minute, mate. I'm going in a minute. My throat is going. Preston North End did an unbeaten doubles. They won the FA Cup in the same season. Fair play. Said second is failure. Said second isn't failure. Yeah, what a clown captain that is. After what we saw the clip of what Tony Adams said, we have to compete for all 4 trophies. Yeah, I don't wear slippers, you nutter. There you go. I know what you're trying to do, yeah, it ain't going to work. Yeah, ain't working. Anyway, people, going to wrap it up. And tomorrow night, I will be on my magnification of 1.5. All right. Now you can go do one. Yeah. There you go. Don't have carpets. Can't afford them. Can't afford carpets, mate. We have to spare floorboards. Big up to Pito 316, mate. And DJB is live, is he? Okay, well, let's go raid DJB. Let's go raid him. Go over and raid the DJB. And I should go over there and watch that. We're out of here tomorrow night, 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock or whatever time. I will be on with Kenny Ken, Matty, Lee, Gunner, as always. And thanks for everybody for watching, jumping in, asking your questions. I hope you enjoyed the show. I don't often do shows like this, but I thought it'd be something different. You know what I mean? International break, not a lot to talk about. But thank you all, people. Jez, you're a proper fan. You have standards. I do have standards, mate, as all of you do. Big up, Jez the G. Big up, G Money, man. Big up. Thank you, man. Love the passion you have for Arsenal. Yeah, well, I've got no choice, mate. I was fucking brought up there. You know what I mean? If I hadn't, I'd be in big trouble with the family. But yeah. Latest, Jez, all the best to you, fan. Big up topside, man. Big up to you. What day's the quiz? I've got to work that one out, man. Got to work it out. Nice one. Big up Darren, proper fan. Proper Arsenal there. Big up Yeti. Yeah, you can do one right now. Just one more thing. Yeah, see you later. And I'm out of here, people. Got to go. Go over and raid DJB. Proper Arsenal. Love to you all, people. Thanks for watching. Take care. I'll catch you all later.